And we are back. It is Friday and it is time for episode 2 of Group A of the GFC. I am here joined once again by Animated J, my co-host. How you doing, Animated J?
What's good? I'm feeling great again. I'm loving these videos, loving the entries, loving the creativity, and just talking about, where gloving's going and all these questions that are arising just from you guys, your competitors. So I want to talk about, let's bring in a judges. Jess, how you feeling so far? Everything you've been seeing?
Feeling good. The last episode was very gave me hope, gave me a lot of hope for what I'm going to be seeing with the rest of the competitors, with the rest of the rounds, with the rest of gloving. Heck yeah.
Got it, got it. And how about you, Trump? How's your experience so far being in the seat, seeing these videos, judging them? How's that going?
It's been nice getting to see. I haven't really watched a lot of videos lately, so it's been nice getting back into it, watching a bunch of really talented glovers do their thing. And I personally really love the competitive aspect of things. And so I'm feeling really in my element and looking forward to more.
Awesome, awesome. That's what we like to hear. Okay, Teddy, who are we starting with for today?
All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at Fractalize, Genghis Wrath, Hypnotoad, and Duck. Fun fact, actually, half of the glovers we are looking at today are from Australia. Fractalize and Duck both hail from down under, so we'll get to see some international flow today. But here is Fractalize.
And singing this song. Singing this.
All right, and that was Fractalize kicking us off. Animated J, how you feeling?
I was digging that. I like this video from what we've been seeing. Like I've seen a lot of like these technical, these small like digits, and this person, he was more, and again, correct me, more flails, more whips, more liquid. It was more of like this flowy vibe. So I want to ask you, Trump, the liquid, this flowness. Did you feel technically it was there? What did you think about his flow?
His flow overall is going to be different from how I feel about his liquid. Honestly, not the best liquid I've seen. It was rather basic, but that's not really necessary for a good show overall. It was clean and it was well from a technical standpoint. He's not going to get a lot of points from me there, but overall, um, the way he put things together and his choice of moves, I really enjoyed the show. I had fun watching it. He did this guy.
That, yes.
I love that so much.
What is
and
that?
it's
What is
it's
that?
kind of hard to get the fan going the way you want it to. Um, and the tech that he did do in the show was super clean too. And honestly, I can't help but feel like there's a little bit of inspiration from at least my generation of glovers. I don't know when he started, but it feels like I can relate to his tech.
Nice.
He's
Okay.
one of your
Tech.
people.
Yeah,
He's
I had
one of
fun.
one of your brothers.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for that. Break down the technical aspect, the little constructive feedback as well with the liquid. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Jess, what do you feel about the placement, the setup of these movements?
Sure. Yeah. So once again, I know this guy actually. This is that Dylan Long Spaghetti guy from Australia. Um, he's definitely got the circles down. He's got the circles down, and he was placing them along the musicality timeline pretty well. He started off with a good sense of patience, I would say. He had very good pacing throughout the whole show, right up until the end, where it seemed like he kind of just ended by moving off screen mid move, which I don't
Hmm.
like. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So he's gonna lose some points from me on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think he chose his strengths, and he used those moves quite well throughout the majority of the show.
Mhm.
He just needs to think a little bit more about the beginning, middle, end aspect of telling a story.
So that beginning, that body, the conclusion, the whole
Right.
story.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Overall, it's really well rounded, though. I enjoyed this one.
Nice. Sounds like it was pretty solid, I would say. Okay. Teddy, who will be our next contestant?
All right, so next we are going to be taking a look at Genghis Wrath.
Genghis Khan.
Heads in the sky, in flight, but you will crash and burn. But you will crash and burn. You'll never learn. The nothingness you preach is truth, it goes unheard. You'll crash and burn. Just wait your turn. The line between opinion and fact is blurred. You're wasted by the sun. You fell down close, you cannot run. The thrill you fear, it's under your skin. You are nothing.
All right, and coming in with just hitting my old school nostalgic heart with the fully inverted glove set. Genghis Wrath. Animated J, take it away, man.
Wow. Okay. I love that. Like I'm smiling right now. Like that he was it was this is the first glover honestly that made me like I was like I want more, you know? I just want to if I'm going to say something, what was that thing he did with his finger? He like
I
took
was,
his finger.
yeah, maybe if I can just talk about that for a second. This is a great example, a perfect example of what we were talking about last episode. And if you haven't seen last episode, go watch our roundtable from the last episode where we're talking about the future of technique. I mean, this isn't really the future of technique because it's happening now, but this guy is what he's doing is called abstracting, and he's taking the gloves itself as a concept. Now, most of the time, glovers use the lights, the trails, the placement of the lights as the concept. But no, he's taking the glove itself, or the physical aspect of the physicality of the light itself, and using that as a manipulation.
Actual prop manipulation.
And there's so much it just goes to show there's so much math to do. Like there's so many ways to look at gloving. Like there's so many different ways to look at gloving, and it makes our job as judges hard, because it's like, okay, how do you fucking judge that? First of all, other than give it
With the scorecard we gave you.
I mean, with the creativity and credibility, it's due, obviously. But
Yeah.
how do you compare that? Is what I mean to
That's
say.
fair.
Because
Yes.
how
you're
do you
correct.
compare that to something that again, it's abstract. It's something that hasn't been done before. It hasn't been really pioneered before, except for by these few people who are.
I
So,
thought that was
Pretty good at
beautiful.
it.
You know, I love creativity. You know, my class is about creativity and, you know, experimenting with objects and even with dance and trying to find new ways of creating. So that was beautiful. Like that mindset, like keep going, whatever that mindset is that you got going there. Trump, how are you looking at that through a technical, you know, analytical lens?
Great question.
It's a hard question, honestly. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, he's it's hard to say. His show is like less is more, but at the same time it's not, because he didn't throw a bunch of concepts in there, but the ones that he did were, for lack of a better word, extremely intriguing. And like you said, I'd love to see more. So from a technical standpoint, yeah, it's pretty technical, I would say. You know, despite it being less, it really was hitting good points on the scorecard, in my opinion.
if I can interject here, I mean, this is not my section, but the point that you really have to look at when you're judging a technical light show that you've never seen the technique before, you really have to look, is there any wasted motion happening here? And there wasn't.
No,
really
there wasn't at all.
There wasn't any wasted motion, and that's what you
No.
really live to see.
Every-
Is it
everything
unique?
was-
Is there wasted motion? It's beautiful.
Yeah, everything was predetermined, it seemed like, and very, you know, he had a clear direction of where he was going with it. And it's gloving. You can do whatever you want, and he did it well.
Yeah, that was wild. Hey, man, keep going, doing that thing, doing your thing. I'm looking forward to seeing the future of abstracting. That what was it called, Jess? Abstracting. Dope. Okay, Teddy, who is next?
All right, that was Genghis Wrath, and now we're gonna take a look at Hypnotoad. And that was Hypnotoad. Animated J, take it away.
That was clean. That was real sharp. I believe the gloves are different than what we've been seeing from
Slim
other
pins.
glovers. They were more slim
pins,
and
yep.
and like everything was sharp, like cutting. I felt like I was cutting. It was cutting through air. Jess, I wanted to ask you, what did you think of his intention of the thought process into that show?
I love the question because the whole time I was thinking about the whole time I was watching the show, I was thinking about how perfect of an example this is of how you don't need to overcomplicate the light show to make a good light show. If you think about what the two words that make up our art form are, it's light and show. So if you literally just focus on those two things and focus on the timing and the placement and the music and those two things, you really only need to have a few concepts and the ability to cycle through a few concepts, and he just did that perfectly. It's just put everything together on pace, on beat, great beginning, great ending. Classic
Nice.
OG flow.
Nice. Yeah, I agree totally. It was clean intro, beginning, conclusion, how he ended it. Really solid. And again, loving that essence, that feel that he was giving throughout his show. Trump, was there something that you felt was highlighted? Maybe something. What did you see here?
I mean, like Josh said, you don't need a lot to have a good show, as long as you do the right things the right way. And yeah, I think Hypnotoad did those things. From just the different types of liquid that he used, hitting different points in the areas around him, to um, just the way that he did his tech. It wasn't overcomplicated, but it flowed really well. And yeah, I love that you can see at what point people started gloving, more or less. And Hypnotoad really gave a good representation of his style and did a good job at it.
You said that you,
Yeah,
you could see a representation of when they started gloving. Was that what you just said?
yeah, I wanted to talk about that too, because he's been around. He's been around. I remember this guy from when I got my start. He's been throwing this OG flow, fuck you up at a rave style light show since I started, and he's like Trump said, he's really just doing a good job of representing an era, essentially, in my mind.
Dope.
Definitely very enjoyable.
Nice, nice. Let's look at that. We have different errors, different creative processes all into this contest. Awesome, awesome. Teddy, what will be our next guest? Who
All
will
right,
be?
and to close out this episode, we are going back to Australia and taking a look at Duck.
Quack.
Correct.
So that was our main event for the episode, Duck. Animated Jay, I can already see Jest is losing his mind, but I'll start with you, Jay.
Wow, I mean, all I gotta say is that dun 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 dun, like that bounce he did, he was like jumping. And the thing about him that I'm noticing more of him than the other Glovers is like he's using his entire momentum of his body to really give you that show. Like he even flicked his hair at like a point. Everything he was like in it, like he was
Energy.
in it, and like moving to Jess, I just, what, I want to have a specific question, but I really just want to hear what you got to say about this. You
So
go for it.
I just want to talk about musicality for a second, okay? Because there's having musicality, and then there's being musicality.
Mm.
And damn, did he do the second one. There's a point in a song, there's a point in a dance routine where the artist stops reacting to the music and starts making the music with their movements. That's what he was doing. That's the ultimate goal in musicality, and that is what he was doing. Down, like you said, down to the hair flick, down to the offbeats, to the stops, to the crisp technique, to the choice of techniques. Bruh. Yes. Correct.
Right. Right. That was
Just
he was-
yes.
Yeah. I mean, being musicality. Can we? Are we allowed? Are we allowed to extend mob invitations mid competition? Is that okay? Is that a thing?
Oh.
Yeah, that was
Might
that
be
was
receptive.
totally. It was. I felt like I was there with him. Like he really was present. He like his entire body was just in this state of flow. You know, like I know like there's times where like I'm sessioning or dancing with people and you're just kind of like you're gone. Like there is no time. Just every part of you is in the moment. And that's what I saw. Again, Trump, I want to hear, I don't want to have a specific question, but I want to hear just what was it that you were seeing? What just break it down for us.
I got big puppet vibes right off the bat. Big puppet vibes, which is a huge compliment coming from me. And yeah, I mean, not even my section, but he really did hit musicality really well to the point where he seemed very comfortable. Like that was his song, you know? From a technicality aspect, not gonna lie, he got a little sloppy when it came down to actually doing the finger tutting. There was one point in particular that I really caught, and I understand, like, it's hard to have such energy and movement and musicality and still hit that clean, pristine angle because you're just going so fast. But
So
at
not
the end
full
of the
puppet
day-
vibes, but on his way there, basically, is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
no, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Because
puppet's
puppet definitely pulls that off.
puppet's puppet, but I think even I would have messed up, you know, a little bit of my cleanliness in there. I don't expect a perfect show when you hit so hard in every other area. But yeah, overall, I mean, not even, yeah, his moves were rather technical for the most part, but just his movement as a whole was technical, and I enjoyed the show.
Dope. Yeah, that was vicious. Looking forward to seeing more from that Glover. Okay, Teddy.
Shout out Duck.
So that's going to round out episode 2. We'll see you back here on Sunday for episode 3. Closing out this group will be Pleasure, Kupo, Sidewinder, and Pretzel. Closing out. But before we go, we do still have a round table for this particular episode, and we will be discussing Animated J. What is our topic for the round table today?
The topic that I was thinking as we're watching these videos is individualism as a Glover. What makes a Glover shine?
Awesome. Well,
That's
if
a
you're
good
watching on
question.
if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, we'll see you in a few minutes on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, then we'll be back in 3, 2.
Just